Many thanks for joining us in the newsroom. I am Annetta Felix. The All Progressives Congress has disqualified Governor Godwin Obaseki from contesting for the primary elections under the party ahead of the Edo 2020 governorship polls. His disqualification was said to be due to discrepancies in his results. Reacting to his disqualification, Obaseki says he's accepted it in good faith and will not appeal. The federal government has renamed the National Stadium in Abuja to MKO Abiola Stadium. Abiola ran as the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party on June 12, 1993. The election, which indicated that Abiola would be the winner, was adjudged as the freest and fairest in Nigeria's history, but the results were annulled by the military leader, General Ibrahim Babangida. In his honor, President Muhammadu Buhari declared the election day, June 12th, as Democracy Day and fulfilled his pledge to immortalize the sports philanthropist by renaming the Abuja National Stadium after him. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed regret over the recent killings in Katsina and Borno State. The president said this during a televised democracy address on Friday. President Buhari, however, assured that concerned security agencies will pursue the perpetrators and bring them to book.
All the local governments that were taken over by Boko Haram insurgents in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa have long been recovered and are now occupied by indigenes of these areas who were hitherto forced to seek a living in areas far from their ancestral homes. The total collapse of the economies of these areas, which constituted a threat to our food security, has also been reversed with the gradual recovery of farming and other economic activities. I regret recent sporadic incidents with tragic loss of lives in Katsina and Borno states as a result of criminals taking advantage of COVID-19 restrictions. Security agencies will pursue the perpetrators and bring them to swift justice. I implore state and local governments to revamp their intelligence assets so that the security agencies can nip in the bud any planned attacks in remote rural areas. I send my heartfelt condolences to all the relatives and the communities affected. As part of the strengthening of our internal security architecture, the Ministry of Police Affairs was created. Among others, government has expanded the National Command and Control Center to 19 states of the Federation, resuscitated the National Public Security Communication System, and commenced the implementation of the community policing strategy.
Women rights activist Joe Odumaki has called for tough legal actions against the stigmatization of rape victims in Nigeria. Odumaki made this call while speaking with TV360 Nigeria in an interview on Thursday. She alleged that rape cases are on the rise because victims are discouraged from reporting for fear of stigmatization.
Last year, we recorded about 98 rape cases. And it's just because our society seems to think that everything has become normalized. Rape has always been with us. Last year, a 6-month-old baby was raped by a 41-year-old man who was HIV positive. And the herbalist said, if you have carnal knowledge of somebody who has known no man, you'll be healed of your HIV because of traditional beliefs. As a result of that, the mom went to fetch water and the man moved in, removed the child diapers, and had carnal knowledge, destroyed all the child's organ. So all these incidences is because, one, they've not been properly documented, although there is a bit of rise when we had the shutdown of the economy and the country. A lot of people were frustrated. Impunity was on the rise. People could do anything and get away. People could even rape and offer money and it will be forgotten. But the audacity of the rapists, that the rapists now rape and kill, is another dimension. time has come for us as a country to say enough is enough. We have the criminal code, we have a lot of penal code, we have violence against persons acts, we have laws. The thing is, a lot of awareness must be carried out, and the men themselves should be made ambassadors. When they are ambassadors, when they speak against such issues, you will find out that it's going to be minimally reduced. Then the question of stigmatization has made a lot of people not to come out again. Anyone who stigmatizes someone who came to report or someone who speaks out, such a person must be made to face the full wrath of the law.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is investigating serving and former state governors for corruption. Acting chairman of the anti-graft agency, Ibrahim Magu, said this on Friday, adding that all suspects who connived with the governors are being invited for questioning. Magu, however, did not disclose the identities of those under probe, saying such would jeopardize investigation. Speaking at a press conference marking the 2020 Democracy Day in Abuja, Magu said the agency had recovered assets in excess of 980 billion naira in the last 5 years. He also added that the commission recovered a large array of non-monetary assets within the same period, including real estate, private jets, oil vessels, filling stations, schools, hotels, trucks, cars, jewelry, shopping malls, and electronics. A non-governmental organization, National Political Equity Movement, has begun an advocacy for the 2023 presidency to the Southeast. During an event to mark Democracy Day, convener of the group, Sunday Okereke, said zoning the next presidential election to the Southeast would put an end to issues of divisiveness, political exclusion, and institute a culture of political equity and justice. The group also called for restructuring of the country and devolution of powers to state governments.
We advocate that based on Nigeria's unique diversity, historical political structure, power arrangement, and in fulfillment of the Constitutional Declaration of Equality and Social Justice, including the urgent need for national integration. Other zones should support the Southeast for presidency of Nigeria after 24 years of return to democracy.
Come 2023 is zoned to Southeast. We also demand that the political gladiators should speedily release Nigerians by playing in line with established democratic rules and true active citizenship.
Mr. President, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, and indeed all political leaders across the country, to prioritize the issue of devolution of powers, or restructuring, as some may call it, to states, to reduce the overbearing and overburdened outlook of the center in order to promote national unity and indeed a national development that we so much need at this point in our history.
We'll be back in the newsroom with more updates. Stay tuned.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the go-to app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
worker has died of COVID-19 in Gombe State. The deceased, Abubakar Mohammed, was a senior registrar in pediatrics with the Federal Teaching Hospital, Gombe. Chairman of the Gombe State Task Force, Idris Mohammed, confirmed this on Friday, saying Mohammed died on Tuesday, but the COVID-19 test results returned positive on Friday. Mohammed is the first healthcare worker to die of COVID-19 in Gombe State. President Muhammadu Buhari has warned that COVID-19 is yet to reach its peak in West Africa. Buhari said this during a virtual meeting with the president of the commission. At the meeting, Buhari charged the ECOWAS Commission to come up with an economic recovery plan to help member states recover from the economic devastation caused by the pandemic. In his report to Buhari, the president of the ECOWAS Commission called for additional strategies to assist the sub-region in fighting the health and economic impact of COVID-19. The Plateau state government has lifted the lockdown imposed on the state to check the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The order takes effect from June 11th. Though the lockdown was lifted indefinitely, the curfew would persist from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. At a news conference at the Government House in Jos, Governor Simon Lalong said the measure was part of efforts to restore economic activities in the state. He, however, stressed that residents must wear face masks in public, saying defaulters will be penalized and prosecuted by the mobile courts established for defaulters of COVID-19. We'll take a break here and we'll be right back shortly. Do stay with us. Michael Sankoria, a 41-year-old Gambian living in the U.S., has been charged with torturing political prisoners in his home country following a failed coup in 2006. Korea was a member of a feared paramilitary unit known as the Junglers. As a member of the squad, Korea is accused of severely, physically and mentally abusing all who plotted a failed coup against President Jammeh in 2006. Korea entered the U.S. in 2016 as a bodyguard for Gambia's vice president on a trip to the UN, but did not return home. Andy Murray will face Kyle Edmund on his return to tennis at this month's Battle of the Brits. The former world #1, making his first appearance in 7 months, has been drawn in the Henman group with Edmund, Leanne Brody and James Ward. British #1 Dan Evans, Cameron Norrie, Jay Clark and Jake Draper have been drawn in the Rogdeski group. The tournament will take place behind closed doors at the National Tennis Center from June 23rd to June 28th and will be shown on Amazon Prime. And that's it on the newsroom for today. Thank you for watching.